awesome. Thanks for inviting me. I've been asked to talk a little bit about DFAT, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade's involvement in the Global Innovation Fund. So, I've got 5 minutes to do that. I'll talk very quickly, as people who know me, I do quite a lot. I do it quite rapidly. So the Global Innovation Fund. Governments who are involved in aid and international development and market development, economic development, are thinking more and more that we should be working with the private sector. There's lots of grants that are given out, so your taxes go into grants which go to help people who are in poverty or people who are trying to help others get out of poverty. But how about we work with the private sector? And one way to do that is to actually work with the startup scene. So work with people who are trying to deliver startups that will solve social challenges. So the Global Innovation Fund has been set up by a group of us who have collaborated. Department of International Development, that's DFID, that's the UK's aid arm. USAID, so USAID's arm. The Midyar Network, they're the guys and gals that set up eBay. CEDA, that's from Sweden. The Australian government, that's us, from DFAT. And also South African Science and Technology Department. All got together and said, okay, how do we help these startups? What can we do to help these startups? Decided to set up a fund. Because governments can give grants, but it's very difficult for them to actually then give money where they will then take equity. And I actually think that's great, because we don't want governments taking equity. Governments taking equity would be an absolute nightmare. So, this Global Innovation Fund can invest in all sorts of ways. It can take equity, it can give loans, it can work with bonds, it can try all different ways to try and invest in the startup scene, but all designed to lift people out of poverty. So really focused on people who are living on less than $5 a day. We at DFAT put $30 million into this fund. It's a $200 million fund. And so far, something like 50 to 60% of the money that's been invested has been invested in our region, which is fantastic. If you look at those other investors, they're all in the Northern Hemisphere. So we've done really well with that. One of its benefits is that it does a really deep way of understanding the impact. It measures the impact or the proposed impact right up front before it takes any investment. And actually we're finding that the private sector are coming to us and wanting to co-invest with us because of our techniques for measuring that impact. I'll give you a couple of examples. M-Clinica. This is, the challenge here in our region is that people can't afford to get their medical supplies. And actually they don't always remember what medical supplies they should have and when they should have them, and the pharmacists don't really know either. So this is a way of helping pharmacists understand who's getting what medicines when, how much have you got left, when do you need to nudge people to bring in, to come in and get their next medicine. Servicing over 20,000 pharmacies across 6 markets with an estimated 150 million patients every month. That's a serious impact. Reducing the amount of money, reducing the cost by about 20%, so that people on less than $5 they can actually afford the medicines now and get the right medicines. The next one is looking at how do you help farmers. So farmers have small plots of land, they can't afford to buy a tractor and all the equipment that you need for farming. So this is like an Uber for farming, if you like. You can borrow the equipment and you bill per acre or per hour. So it's a sharing approach. It also shares people's knowledge, access to finance and those sorts of things as well. Next what I want to show you is a video of some other investors.
Entrepreneur, this is something like spark in your head that you want to do yourself.
If aid is displacing what business could do, you're actually dampening how that the market can grow and people can prosper themselves.
We saw a big opportunity to be innovative, not just copy and paste.
To make a change, I think businesses have the power and the tools and the expertise to actually get things done.
Behavior change is not really easy.
The woman's life really hard, still hard here. We want them to talk when we go through those same something when we go through them.
And we always wanted to do improving maternal and under 5 child mortality in Myanmar because it's the worst in the region.
Agriculture is our bloodline. If we look at the pots of money that we've got, and then we look at the social and environmental issues, the pots of money just aren't big enough.
I think you need to understand the context that it's in to know whether something is or isn't innovative. There's scope to doing things differently.
I I get really excited about hearing from social entrepreneurs who are solving the challenges in their country. They know the problems, they know the solutions, and we give them the dignity to solve them themselves and to grow their economies. Lastly, with all of this, what you're thinking of is the people. This is the example of a company called 40K. They teach English language through apps and games, and they are increasing the English language uptake of young kids by 2.5 years. So the kids who don't go this program go through a certain pace, people who do it 2.5 years. Thank you.